Hey, what up?
All right, what's up, everybody? I don't know if the music was freaking out on your guys' end. It was freaking out on my end. It started like loop over itself. It's like,
Oh,
let me just start this
mine was
5-10 seconds early.
mine was
Let me see
good.
here. All right, sweet. So yeah, I figured in the Amazon space, it's always better when you have two people with the exact same name to talk about stuff. We got like Chris and Chris, and we've got Nate and Nate
Yeah, it's
now.
never confusing.
So,
You're in
and
the
there's
you're in Nathan though, right?
I am, yeah,
You and
yeah. I'm a Nathan.
Nathaniel.
Are you a
Yeah.
Nathaniel?
hmm Yeah, you
Typical.
would know if you got the invites to the meetings. Have you ever seen those Facebook groups that are just like everyone named like Chad, and then
Yeah, yeah.
they'll send a group invite and they'll be like, I think you know why. I think you know why you're getting this. And it's like 40,000 people.
uh, yeah, hilarious.
Actually, pretty good
So yeah,
groups.
so I wanted to hop on here with Nate. So we've got the AIP challenge coming up here later this week. Um, and so yeah, we're kind of talking about that, talking about just the Amazon Influence program in general, trying to answer as many questions as we can. If you guys have questions, whether you're watching over here on Facebook or on YouTube over here on this screen, feel free to drop them into chat. I know I made a couple posts recently, so I've got some questions that I can pull from that I can kind of go through. Yeah, I know people. This is such an interesting program, especially for Amazon sellers, because you see so many products, and we already have so many tools that can tell us like if something is selling. So things like Keepa, there's a lot of like cross utilization here with things like Keepa.
hmm
But yeah, I think this is just a ridiculously easy way for anybody to make money. And I know like that's always kind of like kind of like wins a little bit. I know you do. Like if you're
Yeah,
in the
it's a red
space of
flag.
sort of teaching entrepreneurs, saying like, "Oh, this is the easiest way to make money online," like that's such a
Yeah,
clickbaity thing to say.
yeah.
But this really is.
I
It's
always I
so
always try
simple.
to tamper it down with it's easy, but it's hard. Like it's not. You
Yeah.
have to do a lot, but it's the most guaranteed thing I've ever. And
Yeah.
I've been blogging about making money online for 12 years, right? And
Yeah.
it's just the only one I've seen almost 100% success rate on people doing. Like if you
Yeah.
do it, you
You
will
will make
make money. It's just
some
a matter of
money.
how much. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like comparing it to Amazon selling, I think Amazon selling is simple but hard. This is
hmm
simple and pretty easy. Like
Right.
it's such a brainless, mindless task. So if you guys are like have no idea, like okay, what is the Amazon influencer program? This is where, and actually I can let me try to pull up a product here on my screen so that I can
Well, you
show you
do
guys
that. I'll
exactly.
answer this. Somebody
Sweet.
says, how much engagement is Amazon looking for when you try to apply through TikTok? So if y'all watched our last webinar we did, I actually genuinely deleted that one, like I said I would, which is not always what I do. But a couple of people had asked about the replay, and we did answer that question in there. But really, what they're looking for is it doesn't the amount of followers isn't super important. But what I've seen is they want to see that you're making videos consistently, even if it's not over a long period of time. Just want to see like one every day for the past 30 days, and that you're getting genuine engagement, and you're kind of not just posting and ghosting, which is like crapping out a bunch of B or D level videos and then not responding. They want to see like a little bit of like showing that you're a real person and that you didn't just take Chat GPT and say make me 30 scripts, and then you sit there. They can
Uh,
tell like who's serious or not, and you don't have to. I think people maybe overthink it, but just like being yourself for 30 days and actually responding to any comments you get is usually
mhm.
enough. That being said, I have seen a few people lately not get approved because of what we're talking about now, which is kind of like content where I'm thinking, would you watch that yourself? You know what I mean?
Mm,
Or I'm like,
mhm.
you would not watch that content, right? So it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be amazing, but there is a difference between you just kind of blindly speaking and then it actually being content that's like stuff that they want to see, right? If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Oh, I totally agree. All right, let me share my screen real fast so I can show people exactly what this is. Because a lot of times people are people hear like Amazon influencer and they think like, oh, well, I'm not an influencer. Like I can't do that. I don't have any kind of following. And that is not at all what this is like. Let me share my screen. We're going to enter the matrix here as we look at ourselves. Let's see. There we go. All right. We're in the
Aim
matrix.
for it.
Okay. So can you guys see my screen? Can you see my screen here, Nate?
Yes, sir.
Here on Amazon. Okay. So this is just a random product on Amazon. Now there are two different places where the on-site video goes. Now, let me take a step back. So Amazon Influencer, there is on-site and there is off-site portions of the influencer program. I am solely doing and talking about on-site, and I would argue that like 99% of people out there, when they say the words AIP or Amazon Influencer Program, we are referring to the on-site portion of this. You can do this off-site, but that's a whole different thing. And that's where you actually would need to be a real influencer. And if you are a real influencer, then you don't need me to tell you what this is.
I think that's probably the biggest misconception is that people think that it's their influence from their other media that's going to make them sales. And like, I don't have any followers. That doesn't matter. I don't think I don't make hardly any of my commissions from my existing audience. It's 100%. I mean, you can, right? Like if you were someone huge, you can, and it helps, but we are completely talking, and the whole program is centered around just this on-site stuff, which means no external traffic from you.
Yeah, so when you're looking at a product as a customer, you can see here you got all these pictures, but then there's usually a little button to view videos. And you'll see oftentimes there's going to be one or two videos by the brands themselves, but then all of these videos, these are all AIP people. So like this Spencer Does Reviews, Tara's Cole, Wayne Kupra, Josh and Easy Pairs, but like whatever. If you watch this, and we don't know the exact metrics behind it, but if you watch a portion of this, I think it's usually like 30 seconds or 50%. That's sort of my hunch, but we don't know.
I think it's percent because they let you do 6-second videos. Uh-oh, you froze.
Yeah, so like when watch this, end up purchasing this product is for that. Okay, so this is called the upper carousel, and then down here, did we freeze out? There we go. Down here, we've got the lower carousel. So where you see it says videos. Whoops, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Testing. Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so this down here is the lower carousel. Yeah, I think there must be like a couple second delay, maybe like 5-10 second delay.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, so this is where your videos are going. They're not. I'm not like sharing this to an Instagram or sharing this to a TikTok or anything like that and trying to pull audience. You can do that if you're an influencer, and that's great. Kudos to you for building up a platform, but that is not at all what we're doing. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. In fact, AIP is kind of one of those the great equalizers, because like it doesn't matter if you're Mr. Beast or if you're Nate Jackson or if you're
Mr. Least,
whatever else, Alicia Richall, you are. We all have the same potential to get our videos ranked on that product. And if your video is ranked on that product and someone clicks and watches it and then purchases it, you get the commission. So yeah, it's been a really fun project for me. I started this year in 2025. So, and I know there's, I mean, similar to all online businesses, if you go to like the Facebook groups, they are predominantly going to be negative. It's going to be people saying, oh, this sucks. It doesn't work anymore. It's too saturated. But like, that's all anybody ever talks online about that business. Right, everyone should do it. Usually it's the curmudgeon-y people that are like, this sucks.
They don't really come and talk about how good it's going. I think I'm lagging on you. Can you hear me? I'm going to try to reload because I don't know if I'm the lag or what, but we're frozen now. I'm going to reload.
Testing. Are we back? I
There
think.
we are.
Oh, let's pull Nate back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Spectrum Internet today, but they are not liking me.
Somebody said, are you able to see how many views for each video? So what's cool is that we can see on the back end in our side what's happening, like engagement, stuff like that. But on the front end, all we can see is likes. And really, if anything has, like that first demo that Nate showed that had 243 likes, that is a popular video, right? That's a video that's getting a lot of views. And if you were to be close to them, frozen again. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I think Nate's freezing. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was me. I'm gonna keep answering these while Nate's internet tries, hopefully figures it out. So about the views, you do get metrics for yourself behind the scenes. But on the front end, we really can't tell. But the cool thing is that you can use your other tools, right? Like I know Fluencer Fruit and Viral View, and even like, Rev Seller or whatever you're using. If you're an Amazon seller, you can see how many are being sold. And if they're being sold, that means there's opportunity for stuff to be reviewed, right? Some products are just not being sold, and you're probably not going to make money on them. But we still review those because you can show up still. Like I have a wallet that I did a review of, right? It was this wallet, and it made a few sales, but I made a bunch of the sales associated with this actually from other wallets, because it will show up on recommended or similar products, right? So in that sense, the more is more kind of comes into play. So there's some people that are really analytical about it, and they'll go through and just do things that they'll use a tool like Viral View or Fluencer Fruit, and it will tell them like, hey, this is a high potential product. This will make money. And that's great. But it's also good to just do as much stuff as you can as quickly as possible.
For sure.
Without, people are like, do you niche down? No. Unless you really are like a 1 million subscriber, like camping niche guy, sure. Maybe, because you're going to be making more from like referrals and stuff. But that's not any of us. So we just do everything, right? Everything. Like even the weird stuff that you wouldn't think about doing, you do it. Like little, and it doesn't even have to be something you bought on Amazon. It can be the components from inside of your toilet. Like the toilet that you bought probably has 10 or 12 different Amazon products inside of it. The little, the toggles inside of it, like just little things that you wouldn't think of. You really start to think of once you've gotten to that like couple hundred video mark where you're like, I'm out of stuff. You are not out of stuff. I guarantee in your house, you have at least 2,000 things. They'll start to feel random, but you have them there. I promise you. And then Nate, are you doing the Airbnb thing?
Well, we own an Airbnb. So like I'm going through that, and we've got got a manager for that. So we've started to like do some of their properties. So I haven't had to step outside of that yet, because I still just have so much reach still. But yeah, that's another way just to get even more access to high-end stuff.
And it doesn't have to be your stuff either. You can go, like, let's say that you're you still live at home, or you just moved out, and you have an apartment and your parents live down the street. Go to your parents' house, do all their stuff, right? You can do really anything. There are some people that are, I don't know how, and I'm always shocked. Like we don't teach things that are against the TOS, but there are people who will do stuff like just show a picture of it and review it. We don't teach that. We don't recommend that. But it's crazy how Wild West it still kind of feels at times. There's people that will go in. Yeah. There are people that will go into like Home Depot, and they'll stand inside of the shower and be like, yeah, this is great. Blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, you can't do that. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do, right? Like if you're at a hotel, I bet you the hotel has 100 different things in there that are sold on Amazon. Yep. And it's really untapped. And you do have to be a little creative.
I sold a bunch of those locks, like on your hotel room, there's that like upper metal, like big latch. I sold a bunch of those through my influencer video that I made.
It's weird what sells.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the commissions are small, but if you're the type of person that can get your hands on, like I have a trampoline it's It's an awesome trampoline. Springless, super expensive though. So I'm like, dude, I'm going to do a review and I'm going to actually make this review really good. Right. So I think a lot of people too are like, I don't want to do the influencer program because I don't know how to make good videos. I don't want to make good videos. You don't have to. Like the videos do not have to be the same as they have to be on YouTube or TikTok where it actually matters. They will show up, and Amazon understands that you're just a person, right? They don't expect you to be this insane creator with an editing team. But there's also a place for like, I'm going to really think this video out because it's a $40 commission on this trampoline, right? So there's a little bit of balance in that. And that's kind of the stuff that we teach in the program is it is simple. You can't just pump out a bunch of videos and make money, but there's also a ton of little things that we're so confident will immediately, if you're doing this, right? I don't want people to buy it and then not do it because that's stupid. But if you do it, we can show you things that Nate has methods that he uses with creator connections that dramatically boost immediately the commission rates. So the commission rates are super small, right, up front, but there's ways to make them way, way, way higher.
Yeah. I on a couple of my products, I'm getting 50% commissions on them on every on-site sale that I make, and that's through,
which is wild.
Yeah, and that's through creator connections. So yeah, there's some really interesting stuff that you can do through there.
Some good questions.
Yeah, these are
not to like take over the live,
no,
Nate, but if you're lagging,
it. We're having some internet issues. I've logged in with a second laptop, so if I pop out, I've got another me on standby.
I think you're good now.
So
yeah, I think you're good now.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know what the heck's going on with the Spectrum, but yeah, I love these questions. We can keep kind of going in. Yeah, I love that. Like,
yeah, these are good questions.
There's totally there's a time and a place to do. I sort of say like I kind of do the shotgun mesh. Like I'll do videos of everything. I'll do videos of like here I've got a little a little chia pet here on my desk. Like I'll do a video of this. This does not require like a 4-minute edited video. This just requires me like, hey, look at this cool chia pet. I just got this for my birthday or whatever for Father's Day, and like this is so fun. And check out this. That's like a 30-second video. Boom, done. But yeah, trampoline, that completely makes sense. Like you do a little bit of research, laser focus, like what are the pain points that customers have? Can you talk about that? Make a 3, 4, 5 minute long video. Yeah, I totally see a time and a place for each of those and doing both. So.
Right. And what I tell people is our job is not to just like show it, right? Because they can see it. We want to, sometimes you just show it because there's really like that chia pet, there's really hardly anything to add. Like that time, I will say we're kind of just coming along for the ride. But sometimes, like if I'm doing a review of like this phone case, I would make sure I'd be like, hey, I could check the FAQ or not, the questions, right? Which is they kind of hit them now. There's a way to find them, but sometimes they come and go. But I would check and I'd see people are asking, does this fit the Model 20, whatever. And I'd say this is only for this model, or if it does, I'd be like, this does support USB-C, stuff like that. And you can actually see, not to give away too much of what we're going to talk about on Wednesday, but you can actually see the questions that people have. And if you answer those, that's when you make more sales. So a lot of people are just making videos, which is good, but why not do a little bit? It's not a lot. It's literally, I'm talking like 30 seconds of research. A little bit more and then answer those questions because that's what's going to get people to buy. Yeah. So when we're sitting here talking about $1 per video per month, it can be more, right? It can be, there's people that will make less, but it can be more than that if you're smart about how you do it. And there is a way to do it, what I think is the correct way.
Yeah.
Right? If you make 10,000 videos, you're going to make a ton of money regardless.
Yeah.
But I think it could be the difference between $10,000 a month and $30,000 a month with the same 10,000 videos, right?
For sure. And as
which would be an insane amount of videos, by the way. No one would do that.
I've looked through a lot of storefronts. I've never seen 10,000. I've seen like 4,000 or 5,000.
I think the most I've seen is like, our do you know Tom Mays, my buddy Tom? He's got the credit card points challenge.
I think so.
He was the first one I saw doing 10K commissions, and he and his wife, because I mean, obviously, like, let's not pretend that commissions aren't always going to go down just because of the competition, right? That's just how it is. So I think a lot of people in the Facebook group see like, oh, it's not the same. it's just there's more competition, but the fact of the matter is that there's still absolutely money to be made, and if that was the same amount of money that we made when it started, we'd still be excited about it, right? It just isn't as like he made $10,000 in November in commissions with back then 1,200 videos, which is wild, right? So now you wouldn't get that with that many videos, but you can make, I would say the floor of that would be $1,200 a month without creative connections.
Yeah. I think that's something big that I've kind of learned. Again, like I'm coming into this very fresh. I started this 6 months and 2 weeks ago. Like it was like January 1st was when I started uploading. And yeah, like the general sentiment was just super negative. Like, oh, it's not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. And I'm sitting there like, I'm making now, like I tell people estimate like $1 per video per month. I'm making like $2 or $3 per video per month. I'm trying to underestimate because maybe 7 months down the road, my beginning videos aren't doing as well anymore. But like,
which is going to be the case. Like it's not a lock in forever, but some videos I've seen blow up later.
For sure.
And you do get the seasonality boost.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things where like, okay, sure. Let's say you made a video for this and 2 years ago you were selling one of these every single day and like you're making a killing. Okay. Yeah. Like you spent 30 seconds of work to make this video and you probably made $100 2 years ago. That's awesome.
Right.
This year, you haven't put any more work into this. And maybe this is sold, I don't know, 5 times this year and you made $5, but like 30 seconds of work for $5 is still absolutely insane hourly wages. Like everyone should do that. No one should work at like McDonald's or something. Everyone should just take videos of their random chia pets on their desks. Sure, it's not as good.
And one misconception, and one misconception, and I know it's not for everybody, so I don't even like selling it as like part of it, but there is, so like, with how many videos you make, like maybe people see a cap there. What ends up happening, and I don't know if you've gotten to that point yet, Nate, since your store is relatively new, you start getting reached, people start contacting you. Like I get messages almost every day. Also on TikTok, we'll talk about a little bit on my day, but you start getting messaged all the time, and people are like, "Hey, we'll give you this product," and they actually pay you for it. So like, I got my vacuum right now. It was a $250 vacuum that it's a good vacuum, and I got paid. I think they paid me like $100 to review it, and then I got to put that on Amazon, where I get paid for the commissions, and by definition, I'm actually going to be getting more sales than normal because they don't have any videos yet, which is why they're messaging me. And then they're running ads usually because they're a new product, right? So these are people that are serious and they want to get influencers. And I think some people are like, well, they're not going to reach out to me because I'm blah, blah, blah. The new marketing method that I've seen transpire over the last like 4 years is a shift from like, one, like just having like a Kylie Jenner, like she is the one that's going to market this, to now it's like, we want the 65-year-old grandma. We want the 18-year-old college kid. We want people that fit all different demographics and all different styles, because they'll then run ads targeting that demographic, right? And there's just something that we have as humans where we are more receptive to someone that's like in our, right? If a grandma tells a grandma that this is a good product, it's going to be more believable than if I come on looking like I look. And so that's where marketing's going.
I've had a lot of people in Hustle Buddies like take snapshots of their Facebook ads. Like, Nate, is this you? Because this is what I've been doing with a lot of brands. And so like, if you see a Simply Safe commercial and you're a millennial person, or maybe you have kids who are millennials, like there's a decent chance that Simply Safe is going to push an ad to your Facebook with my face telling you some fictitious story about my dad having my dad never had a credit card in his life, but like they sent me a script. I did that. Boom, good to go. And same thing as Nate. Like I'm getting products. I just got this a little bit ago. Like they paid me, I think it was like $80 or something, plus gave me the product, plus I can post it to the influencer program, plus I can post it to TikTok and do all these other stuff. So there's a lot of overlap and ways to expand this.
And then for our resellers, there's a beautiful overlap where you can actually not sell them on Amazon, but you can take those free products you get, because you'll get a lot of nonsense that like the other day, I had to say no to one the other day because I got I thought it was for a beard. Like it was a cool like clipper, like buzzers. I was like, yeah, I'll do, because I was like, they need a beard guy. And I check it and it says body only. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing a body video on TikTok, but once I'm done with it, I can sell that, right? So I didn't do the video, and I was like, y'all want it back because I'm not doing this video. But it's, $60. You sell it at a garage sale, or you just, do whatever you want. My friend who I said was making, my friend Tom Mays, what they do is they'll just do either Facebook Marketplace or just like a quick yard sale where they'll just print the Amazon listing, mark it down 60%, and put it on there. Just like, hey, non-negotiable, but just this is what the price is. Brand new in the box. Like it does help if you have a brand, what we call a brand kit, where you showcase like your lifestyle and what you do. So he has a beautiful house in Miami, and he has a big, beautiful pool. So he gets contacted a lot by pool people who have pool products. So he got this robot. It was like $900, a pool cleaning robot, and he did a review of it. But he already had a pool cleaner and stuff, so he didn't need it. So he did the review and then sold it for $500, right? So just stuff like that. It's very much in line with the hustle that we've all been a part of for the last decade of reselling. So when you start stacking the different opportunities for cash flow, it becomes so much more than just what you're seeing on Facebook, which is like commissions are down from $2 a month to $1. It can be so much more. That actually, for a lot of people, ends up being the smallest part of their income if they want to take it to where I'm talking about, which is building a brand kit. And actually, we do have it. If you guys bought, you might have seen an opportunity to join the bonus session on Friday at 4. My friend Lisa Mays, Tom's wife, has a Fiverr gig where she sells UGC videos, right? So she says, here's what I'll do. People pay like $150, send her the product, reviews it, lists on Amazon where she gets paid, right? She gets paid by the company, $150 or whatever it is. And then she can flip the product if she wants later, because she gets a lot of them. Like it actually becomes an inconvenience if you don't sell them.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's pretty cool.
I love it. All right. Yeah, if you guys haven't signed up, there's a QR code above the other Nate's head, over that direction, right above his head. Or you can go to aipchallenge.com. Yeah, I think this is just it's such an easy opportunity that anyone can do. Like, again, like I'm a very ADHD passionate entrepreneur type of person. So like when I'm really into something, and that's all that I talk about. It's all that I think about it. So like all my neighbors, they're sick of hearing from me. And like I've gone to the neighbors to record videos, right. But like I'm telling them, like, okay, here's how you get an account set up. Here's how you do this. I'm talking to their 18-year-old kids who are graduating high school. Like, listen, man, you can pay for college. Just take videos of your dorm room and then all your friends' dorm rooms. Just go room to room to room to room. Give people like a $5 Starbucks gift card, and here's how you do it. And so like I'm getting all them set up, because there's no account fees. There's no overhead charges. Yeah. Like this is such a stupidly easy thing that literally anyone can start. Yeah.
Are you like me where you get kind of like mildly annoyed when like my son's like, I can't wait till next year, I'm going to get a job at Chick-fil-A. I'm like, dude, no, don't do that. Like I can give you like, I know, what have I taught you? I can show you literally 20 other ways to make Chick-fil-A money.
Yeah, my kids are not at that age.
This is really the one that actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he does actually resell. Have you noticed? I don't know if you've fallen into like the Gen Z terminology, but that reselling to them is not what reselling is to us.
Okay.
Reselling to them means selling Chinese knockoffs.
Okay.
Of like AirPods, of mostly big name things. Like there's like 10 things that they consider reselling. It's like AirPod Pro Max, cologne, and they know it's knockoffs, right? They don't sell it as real. But my son does that, and he actually makes a decent amount of money. I'm like, you bet. Just if I find out that you're telling people these are actual AirPods, I'm going to kill you. But he's like, no, I don't.
Awesome. All right, let me kind of go through some of these questions. Let me see. I'll start over here. I've got Facebook on this screen and then YouTube over on this screen. So I'll start over with the Facebook questions, and then maybe Nate can take some of the YouTube questions, because he'll see those here in our chat.
Yeah, I see the ones on the right from Tracy, Tom.
Yeah, so those are the YouTube questions here that you're seeing.
Are those? Okay. Yeah, if you want to answer one of these, then I'll answer one of those.
Perfect. All right. Darcy Wade, can you explain what the challenge is about? I've tried to replay the webinar, but it says it was expired. Nate, you want to tell people sort of the synopsis? What is the AIP challenge about?
Definitely. Yeah. So what we originally had planned was a 5-day challenge starting today. And then we realized, you know what? There's a lot of people that are already approved. We don't want to waste their time. And we don't want them to think that only 3 of the days are for them and this was the price. So they're only getting 60% of the value. So we got rid of the basic stuff, but we have a pre-recorded course of all of the boring stuff that you need, like getting started, what to do to get approved, terminology, understanding lower carousel, upper carousel, the stuff that we want to make these 3 days really, really fun and really insightful and kind of beyond just stuff that you could Google. We want it to be stuff that, like, from us actually doing it and having seen other people do it. So we launched the first course back in 2024. So we've seen hundreds of sellers go through this, and we have a bunch of experience. And Nate is very recently in it, so he's got a ton of insight there. Over the 3 days, we're going to talk about only things that we think you can't really find easily online. The basic stuff like getting approved is not part of it. It starts on Wednesday. We do it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 6 p.m. If you do the program, whether you're approved or not, you will either make it worth your money or we'll give you your money back. We don't do that thing where we take your money and leave you not happy. So if you don't like it, we give your money back, even if you've gone through it. I don't really care. It's just how we do it.
Yeah.
So the risk is on us. There's also replays of everything if you can't be there.
Yeah. 3 days, really solid, like gets right into it. I'm trying to do these videos ahead of time, and I've really been trying to show people like, hey, here's how to get approved, because I would like people to sort of get that out of the way so they can really start making money instantly, like hit the ground running very first day.
Yep.
So.
Yep. There's definitely a place for that. And some people mess it up. Like there's ways to do it to get it right the first time without wasting a bunch of time. And money.
Alicia asks, how much do you focus on creator connections? I do that usually about once a morning. I'll go through there, and then sometimes late at night as sort of like window shopping. So I have a couple automations in place. I'm going to be showing you guys those on Friday during the challenge. But I've got some automations in place that automate a lot of this for me. And so it's basically, for me, it's like 1 or 2 clicks in the morning. I just kind of let it fly. And then in the evening, my window shopping is like, if I'm sitting in bed with my wife and we're just like, I don't know, got NCIS or whatever on TV. It's like, oh, hey, like, let's see what we can find. Let's see if we can find any free products. And so we'll reach out to maybe like 10 things or types of, like I just got a new bird feeder. It's like, oh, let me see if I can get another one of those bird feeders for the neighbor. And so little things like that. So, a lot of it is automated. So I wouldn't say that I focus on it. I do it a lot, but there's a lot of systems in place to make it really easy. Does the challenge teach you how to do it step by step? Yeah.
It does. And then, like I said, anything that is left, anything that you might feel was left behind, we do have the biggest value. Literally, I think we could have sold this with just this, is the 1 year of access. So I do a Thursday coaching call with my group, Evergreen Affiliate Marketing, and that is open now to anyone that buys this, and I answer any AIP questions. And if you want, Liz also does one at noon every Thursday. So you can hop in on either of those. We're going to have a private chat hosted in Circle, so you can ask any specific questions you have. We're going to be, things change a lot. So when something changes, you guys will be the first to know. I've got some really cool plans. I'm developing a little software actually that lets us put all of our storefronts without sharing, with them completely with each other. It'll actually count. It'll be a tracker that's going to track everybody's output. Yeah, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. And I'm trying to find, there's some laws about like doing contests without people buying. So I'm trying to make sure I don't mess that up.
Let people send orders.
But we're going to do some, we're going to do some fun stuff like that where we're going to gamify it to really, because really we just want to make you guys do the videos. And I think because you will make money and you will thank us when you do, which is what we're trying to make happen here. But the biggest crux of that is getting people to actually do it. Yep. And with the year of community, we think that that'll actually make you do it. And it's, dramatically will increase your chances.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to jump in with you guys. JP on Facebook says, is there a way to scan products with your phone to find the Amazon listing? Yes, there is. Okay, so I have my phone right here. Now I have the Amazon Shopper app. This is like what you use as a customer. So I'm just gonna click the Amazon Shopping app. All right. There's a little button. My camera won't focus on this, but there's a little button in, oh, maybe is my whole internet out on my phone too? There's gonna be a button at the top right corner in your search bar. Hang on, let me try this again. See if I can get it to load. There we go. Okay, so I know it's hard to see. I apologize, folks. I can't get it to zoom in, but you can kind of see. There's a little button right there. It looks like a camera. It's right next to that mic button. I'm gonna click that. All right, now it's doing the camera image thing. And this is like a little magnesium supplement thing. I'm just gonna scan the front of this for you so you can see. All right, so it takes a picture of that and it will find this exact listing on Amazon. So now, like, I don't have to go hunting for stuff. There it is, all right? This is the exact same bottle that I have in my hand. All I did was take a picture of the front of it. You can also take a picture of the barcode, however you want. I see a 1-pack, I see a 2-pack. Honestly, I'll probably do videos for both of those. And this, to me, this is more of like a 30-second, 60-second type of video where it's like, hey, this is magnesium. This is how it makes me feel. I feel like I was deficient in this. This is the size of the pill. Like, you open it up, you show people. It's easy to swallow. Take it with a meal, things like that. Boom, done. Yeah.
And we're also going to show you guys the things to say that won't get the video removed, because like there's some things when you're talking about, I mean, some of it's
supplements,
obvious,
especially.
I probably had weird stuff too. Like I did this acne spray, like it was a body spray, like I was like, this helps my bacne. They wouldn't approve it. they had bacne as like one of the bad words. I'm like, dude, but it's a thing. I have it.
Yeah.
Let me talk about it.
Yep.
They kept getting it.
All right.
Another thing that
go ahead.
Another one of the things that we recommend TikTok, and this is another thing that we talk about on my Thursday coaching. It's a later step, but if you're familiar with the TikTok affiliate program, the Creator Shop, very, very cool, very hard, but very cool. So with Amazon, you're not going to have a video that makes $10,000, right? Not one video. It's not going to happen. With TikTok, you can. If your video goes viral on TikTok and it is a TikTok commission video, you can make a fortune.
Yeah.
It's hard, but what's cool and why we recommend using TikTok, and actually why Amazon approves TikTok more frequently when you apply, is there's almost perfect overlap. Like, let me see that.
Magnesium L-threonate.
Yeah. So almost 100% chance that's on TikTok. Right?
Yep.
So sometimes I'll be doing a video. And I'm like, there's no way to make this fun. There's no way to make this cool. On a TikTok shop video, it only works if it's cool, right? Like, you have to actually do the influencer type stuff. And I just love that it's an option. And I think a lot of you will too. And I have a feeling that we're going to have a couple of people that actually really take off with that. There's a couple of people in our last group that do really well with it. And we're going to talk about that. And it's just a really cool additional opportunity for the people that kind of consider themselves to be maybe a little bit more creative or want to try to do the thing. You get a little more dopamine hit when you're like, oh my God, I made, this video made $300 yesterday. That hits a little different. And it's the same products, right? Yeah. So they're literally identical, and you don't have to have bought them on TikTok Shop, just like with Amazon. These can just be things that you have around the house. And some videos are much more conducive to those working. And as you're making videos, you'll notice that, right? You'll be like, hey, this would be really funny if I use this product in this way for TikTok, but that doesn't make a difference on Amazon. Right? So,
yeah. Alicia asks, if there's no open spots in the top or the bottom carousels, would you still make a review video? That's what confuses me. Is it possible Amazon will still put you in there? Yeah, it's absolutely possible. And I think different people might have different opinions on this based on sort of their style. I tend to err on the more like shotgun style. Like, I will take a video about everything. You said like, oh, it doesn't have a top or a bottom carousel. I would never know that. That's not a part of my process. I don't check that for myself. I pick this up. If I can find it on Amazon, I do a video about it. I don't care about anything else. I'll also say, so I've started to use a couple of those tools that'll say like, oh, here's the top carousel, bottom carousel. Amazon changes stuff a lot. So like, there's a lot of tools that'll say like something doesn't have a top carousel, but it's just because like something changed on the page where it sort of does have a top carousel. It's just coded different. And so the thing might say like, oh, this doesn't have a top carousel. It does. It's just Amazon has just recently changed things. So I'd take those things with a grain of salt. I still make them. Some of in fact, I think out of like the top 5, my best selling products, I think 4 of them, when I actually clicked on it and like got like one of the little score, like whether you're using Fluencer Fruit or whatever else, like they had horrible scores. Like, oh no, you shouldn't get this, and I wouldn't bother doing a video for it. But like those are 4 of my top 5 best-selling items. All had that very negative thing,
Right.
And it's because Amazon.
Let me show you.
It'll rotate through.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, it should be down between us. There's a little button for sharing screen.
Yeah, I want to show you. This is one thing that am I in the matrix?
We are in the matrix.
All right, so this is so Fluencer Fruit, Viral View, both great tools. I have Viral View set up here right now. Can you see?
Yeah.
Do you see the
Yep,
trampoline here? Yeah. So one thing that my favorite way to use these tools is, number 1, go through your orders and let it scan your orders. So anything you ever bought on Amazon, it'll scan it, and then you can filter it by their score, right? So this will help you kind of triage your products that you review, and also it will remind you that you have certain things that you maybe didn't remember you had. So you go to your orders, you scan it, and you actually, the Fluencer Fruit is going to give us a 30-day trial, so you can actually just use this and get started. And then you can basically triage those top things. Just make a list. I actually made a big Notion database of mine. Let me see if I shared it with the group at one point, where me and my wife were basically just going through. Let me see where it is.
While he finds it, so like personally, the way that I use those types of information is I don't ever use them as like a hard red flag, like, oh, there's no room, I'm not gonna do it. I don't use it like that. What I will use it as is if it's all green lights, like if it's like, oh, there's no top carousel or only a few top and only a few here, and it's selling a lot, like this is a great product, then that sort of doubles down on like, okay, maybe I'll even make more than one video about this. Maybe I'll do a longer form video. Maybe I'll put a little bit of extra time like researching the questions down below. So it's like, it gives me a further green light, whereas for me, I'm not avoiding something because of those, if that makes sense. And that's just my style. Like everyone's different with this.
So I actually made this list. So I was going through, and I just wanted to make sure that, because there were some things that I wanted to review, and there were some things I wanted my wife to review, like they were her products, not mine. So this is a perfect like team sport, like you and your spouse, or I mean, some people are afraid to do it. I let other people do videos for me. You can hire somebody. I don't
There's
know
nothing
if
in the
Nate's comfortable with that, but
that's against that.
Yeah, I mean, I do it, and I never lost sleep over it. But so basically, I have this list of things that I had scanned, that I had purchased, that I had totally forgot about, right? Like some of these were from long ago. So these are things that are like probably in my crawl space, but I checked them out on Amazon, and they had at the time good reviews. Like I bought this back in June of 2019. And here I can see the 30-day revenue, viral score 50. It's pretty low. I mean, you take those scores with a grain of salt, because like Nate said, there's a lot of stuff involved there that sometimes is accurate. Sometimes this revenue is not great. These are all just the rules of thumb. But I'm like, shoot, I know I have this. This is in my bathroom, right? It'll take me 5 seconds to review it. And so I have that list, and I'll just knock those out as I can. But one thing that I really love to do is, let's say that I need batting gloves for my son, right? And I'm trying to decide which batting. This is probably a bad example because he's going to have a specific pair he likes. But let's say there's a product that you're indifferent to, right? Like it doesn't really matter which one you get. Like maybe you're a guy that doesn't really care what his shampoo smells like. You could come up here and check the shampoo and then decide to buy the one that has a high viral score. or Fluencer Fruit score, and you would know like, hey, I'm going to buy that, and it probably has a good chance of making some of the money I'm spending on the product back. So it doesn't always work, but it's fun, and it does change how I buy a lot of stuff. Like if let's say that I was looking for creatine. All creatine's the same. I don't care what anybody says. They just market it differently. Creatine monohydrate is creatine monohydrate, right? But if you come in here, some of these are newer, and maybe they're running ads to them, or some of them are just way more popular, and for whatever reason, they might not have reviews. And then we can actually go into like the app itself and filter the views. We can actually see all of the different products on this page, right? And then I can actually filter that by viral score, and I can see here this creatine one. And again, like I said, don't take that as gospel truth. Sometimes they're way off. Sometimes they're perfect. But I'd be like, hey, maybe I want to buy this one. It is selling a lot. There's only 2 influencer videos, and the price is the market price for creatine. And like I said, that's probably the most BS marketing you'll ever find. Like this guy clearly on steroids here, like as if it was the vitamin D3 that did it. Like, dude, no, that's $1,000.
I was taking that creatine, but now I'm taking this creatine, and I'm big.
it all changed. I just needed to buy the $28 HMB. So that's kind of just cool stuff like that. We'll be talking about, and we're not trying to sell you guys. That's the thing, is you don't have a ton of room when you're new. We're not trying to sell you $100 a month things right out of the gate, but there is a point where you're like, oh, this is scaling. And I've made my money back using certain tools like that, just because I'm like, I'm going to buy this one instead of this. I'm brand indifferent. And I'm like, I don't buy anything now without checking that. And anytime I'll like once a week go into my account and I'll see what my wife had bought that week. And sometimes she'll buy stuff. I'm like, dude, that's a high potential product. It's selling a lot, and it has upper carousel and stuff like that.
Yeah. I love it. Someone on YouTube just said, so do we have to use AI to compete? And no. In fact, AI is specifically mentioned in the TOS that Amazon does not want AI. Now, there are a lot of bad actors right now in the space, but a lot of those storefronts get taken down pretty fast. So I feel like your payouts lag behind about 2 months. And I feel like these stores will pop up and they'll post like 5,000 videos in a week because it's all AI and they can just mass upload. But then their storefront is taken down like a month later, and so they don't actually get paid out. So like it's frustrating to us because it is it's taking sales, it's taking views away, things like that. But there's no long-term stores that stick around who use AI because it's specifically prohibited by Amazon.
There's 2 AI tools that I do recommend checking out, and I'll talk about them in the challenge. But they're not about creating content. They are, but they're about editing content.
Yes, yeah.
Really quickly. So there's a couple of things, because when I edit a video, unless it's like a $4,000 trampoline, pretty much the only editing I'm doing, and I'll be honest, I've been doing video for a long time, so I think my videos naturally will probably be a little bit better. But the only thing I really do is cut out empty space. I'll record myself, and I'll just freestyle it after I know what the questions people are asking about it. And then if I mess up or I drop an F-bomb or something, I'll just erase it. All I really need to know is cut out the spaces, right? The dead air, and then get it uploaded. I think a lot of people kind of drone on early, and it's just better to kind of make it more every line kind of more impactful. And really, it doesn't mean jump cuts. It doesn't mean text. It doesn't mean music. We actually don't recommend using music. We don't recommend using subtitles. You don't use subtitles?
No,
hard burnt subtitles,
nothing.
Which would be easy to do, but we don't do it. Amazon has their own subtitles. There's really hardly anything on the editing side, but we will be showing you a couple of tactics. I use CapCut. I try to do as much of everything from my phone as I can. And we'll show you the apps that we use. I don't know what Nate uses. There's tons of ways to.
For AIP, I literally don't edit. I don't upload this anywhere else.
Really?
It's just straight from the camera.
Well, I just edit it so that there's no. I mean, if you can nail the talking points right away, I kind of like to be able to to do it in a way that I don't have to. I know some people actually write out their points. I think that's a waste of time.
I saw, yeah.
I just freestyle
I liked your
it.
trampoline video, and then you had another video that I like. I saw, I stalked your storefront, did some storefront stalking. So I was like, okay, I do like that, and I see the time and the place for those bigger ticket items where you're gonna do like a 3-4 minute video. So yeah, I have that on my to-do list. Like, all right, let me open up.
And then on those, like your thumbnail,
yes,
your thumbnail becomes more than just an afterthought, right? Because I mean, you're competing with, there's a lot of things that go into it too. And we're going to actually give you guys some basic templates. I'm going to provide you with 2 templates. One is a little bit more eye-catching. I'm going to show you how to do it in Canva. Super easy, a little bit more to it than just a screenshot, but I think it's worth it. Like there's just little things that you have to decide where is the time best allocated. Because at the end of the day, it's about volume, right? But why not do volume? Why not do volume and optimize as much as you can without sacrificing so much volume that it ruins it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Tracy was then also saying, they said, oh, so why did you show the screenshot that had all the AI videos selected? Are you talking about...
so the brand videos can be AI.
Yeah, were you talking about this product, this like green lawnmower thing? Because I don't think any of these
you could get away
with AI.
If it's your product, you can do stuff.
The
like
brands,
that.
The brands can do what they want, but like these, like Spencer does reviews. That doesn't look like AI. That doesn't, unless there's a voiceover that I just can't hear. But like that's clearly a dude talking about it. Yeah,
there are tools like 11 Labs that you could do. I wouldn't do. I just don't see it ever being more efficient. But like you can actually clone your own voice and then write a script and do it. There's a bunch of different batching styles. Like some people might just like record a product, do a bunch of different angles, and then do the audio after. Like you don't actually even technically have to be in the video. But that's another one of the copywriting points where I'm like, this is better if I see your face because it's just more. I think there's been studies too that show that there's people convert more when there's a real human being as opposed to just text or just video that has no person. So it's just a little bit. It's harder to lie about stuff when you're looking at somebody, even just on a pre-recorded video.
Especially with the prevalency of these AI voiceovers, like people want to see a normal average dude. At least for myself, like if I see an ad and I don't see a person talking, I usually assume that they probably just had AI do it.
If I see the Uncanny Valley fake avatar on an ad, like I had an ad the other day for veneers, right? I'm like, if you've done veneers for people, you should be able to pay them $500. Say make a video. But I'm like, why are you have an AI avatar with fake veneers selling me on the fake AI veneers? I'm like, I'm not buying that. Not that I was going to buy them anyway, but if I was in that market, I need a real person, dude. And that makes me think like, what are you hiding? Why do you not have anyone that would do this? Or are you so cheap that you won't really pay people? And then if you're going to be cheap on that, how cheap are you going to be on the veneers that are going to be in my literal face?
Yeah, for sure.
Not trying to cut corners.
So yeah, you're not required to be in it, but I do recommend it. Like if you can push yourself, even if you're camera shy, like what Nate was saying earlier, like people want to see people like them. So like if my grandma is trying to buy veneers, she probably doesn't want to see a 30-something-year-old Nate talking about it. She wants to see the 80-something-year-old woman who might have the curlers still in her hairs. And like, it doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter if you're camera shy. That authenticity, I feel like it usually helps sell the product.
This is a great equalizer.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, people are like, well, I'm not attractive. I don't have a good voice. Like,
good.
So do a lot of people that buy stuff.
Yeah.
I get mad when I'll see men's clothing, and I'm like, I don't know if that's cool clothing or not. That person's hot, dude. They look good in a potato sack. I'm gonna look like an idiot if I try to pull that off. That's what happened with man buns. Everybody would see like Heath Ledger with a man bun. They're like that. Like, no, dude, it's because he looked good with a turd on his head.
Yep. Let me see. Tracy said over on YouTube, does Amazon pay everyone in the top 6 video who gets chosen? So it's whatever video gets watched. So if a customer watches your video and then buys the product, Yeah, and it's first and last. So if they watch my video and then they watch Nate's video and then they watch Tracy's video and then they buy the product, Tracy gets paid. So it's whoever is the
which stinks, but
yeah. So
and that is where that's where it comes into play, where I'm talking about people don't watch it just to see a person. Usually they watch it because they have a question that they're concerned about, right? And they want someone to answer it. So every time I watch a video, and again, we're giving away a ton of what we're going to talk about, I ask what was keeping me from buying this, or what would have kept me from buying this. Maybe I'm a pretty impulsive buyer. I don't really overthink a lot of it. But I'd be like, well, is it heavy? Is it, what about the AirTag thing? Why is that cool? Do the cards fall out when I flip it upside? Just stuff like that. And then again, you can actually see that in the questions on Amazon. If I see a question that somebody said, how heavy is it? And it got 20 upvotes. That's a question that people are asking, right? So I triage them too by upvote, right? So you can sometimes tell, usually it's one big question.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of people some people don't scroll down to read them. They just want to see the video of you answering it. So stuff like that we're going to teach, that will actually make it, you'll get more out of every video you make if you take this course.
Yeah.
I'm
for
100%
sure.
confident in that.
And so the last two questions I say, I'm going to kind of do these together because I think they work hand in hand. So someone says, what if I'm not tech savvy? Mm-hmm. And the very next question was, this is such a great opportunity for the elderly community. And not that, I don't know, Darcy, if you identify as a part of the elderly community, but I know most of the elderly community would identify as not being tech savvy. And like, this is so simple. So again, like there's different styles, there's different ways you can do this. For me, my style, I do no editing. So I have my phone here. I showed you, like, I scanned this picture of a product, okay? I would take my video. Hey, so I just got these magnesiums, blah, 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 blah. 30-second video with my phone. No special camera. Okay, I have a special camera and I don't use my special camera. I just use my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never used this camera ever for AIP. I've only ever used my.
It slows you down.
It
and
is.
I also recommend nerfing down the video quality. Don't do 4K. It just slows you. It slows you down.
Yeah.
On the exporting or uploading.
You know what? I need to check my settings because I wonder if I'm that.
Yeah, make them lower.
Yeah.
1080p is all you need.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a good tip because uploading is currently my biggest bottleneck. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So like, you don't need to be tech savvy, and this is such a great opportunity, especially for those less prominent, the demographics that are less prominent online. I think this is a phenomenal opportunity for. So like, if you're a good-looking 20-year-old female, I think this is a fine opportunity. But also, you are a small fish in a very big ocean. Okay, there are many decent-looking 20-something-year-old females who make content online. There are very few 75-year-old men who make videos about.
Well, it's ironic because the people that are young and attractive are more confident making the videos, so there's just by definition more of them. But we don't. People like that's an easy influencer to get. What about? There's this friend of ours that used to sell on Amazon, and I saw him on TikTok the other day. 350,000 followers. He just talks about politics and stuff, but he crushes it. And everyone's like, "Oh, TikTok's for young people." I'm like, "There's old people on TikTok too."
Yeah,
and they don't want to hear from. I'm not young, but they don't want to hear from a 20-year-old talking about politics. They want to hear from someone their age with their experience. And he goes on there. He doesn't care about filters. He doesn't care about even editing. He just goes on there and riffs, and people love it. So it's the great equalizer, like you said. I just think it's such a beautiful. It just really is a beautiful thing.
For sure.
It's just everything's coming back. Nature's healing.
Yeah, and like if you guys if you recognize this magnesium L-threonate and you do a video about this, like, you have a shot of, I've been doing this now for 6 months. So let's say I've got a video of that. I think Nate's been doing this for a couple years. Let's just pretend he has a video. Like, we all have roughly the same chance. Now, if your video starts selling, your video will get ranked higher, and then it'll be harder to sort of
that's the part
outrank me. But that's because of the video converting and not because of who I am or my following or anything, as long as that goes. So yeah, it's right. You have an equal
and that comes down to a couple things, right? That's making the video in a way that it converts. So somebody who's much more attractive and more fluent at speaking than me could make a video, but if mine answers the questions and mine has a thumbnail that draws the click, I'm going to rank ahead of them just because mine is, because Amazon knows, right? They see all the data. Their whole job, and the only reason they're paying us is because they know that videos convert at a really high level, so much so that they're like, hey, we'll pay you 4% or 1% because we know that it's boosting sales by 8%, right? And what happens is they can see whose videos are actually converting, and then they bump those up just because that's, it's all automated too. So there's no like, hey, we like this guy more, or hey, this guy has 1 million followers on social media, or hey, this lady is just more attractive. It doesn't matter, right? It's just about the raw numbers. And that's also why I love TikTok too, because they do not have the barriers to entry. Like on YouTube, on YouTube, you could post the worst thing you could do is post the world's greatest video as your first video, because no one will ever see it. Because they don't give you that same, it'll do better. Like they don't give you that same benefit of the doubt to test it.
Yeah.
Right. But TikTok and Amazon, they give you a test, and it's the same test. Everyone gets the same test, right? There's no tiers to it. Everyone gets the same test. And if yours does the job, they don't care who you are. They'll give you the views, and you get sales.
Yeah, for sure. I
do want to show you guys one thing that this challenge is about the Amazon influencer program, but over the course of the next year, if you work with me in the 11 a.m. Group, or just message me, I really, really, really want to make some people take off with TikTok Shop. So if you don't mind, do we have too many questions to answer?
No, I was going to wrap things up, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Let me just show you this before we go. There's this website called Calidata. And I don't know how many of you are on TikTok. I know what I recommend is go on TikTok, make a feed that's very positive, never engage with anything that is going to upset you, just really positive, and watch stuff, right? And when you see a video that has the product at the bottom left, click on the product, see how much it is, and then start kind of crunching the numbers, right? So like this product right here, I don't like these scammy ones, but it's just the first one that came up. Not that it's scammy, but there's some products that are really, really cool. So these creators, this guy drove $173,000 in revenue. I'm gonna see if I can find what his actual video is, so I can actually see the videos. I can see exactly what this one was. It's just a little bit more creative, but this video alone got 23.15 million views. Or I'm sorry, is it that video? $173,000 in revenue. So we're talking about, at 20% commissions, we're talking 30 some $1,000 in commissions. Some of them are more, some of them are less.
Yep.
These are the new followers from that video. And then you've got stuff here. What's so freaking cool. And I would recommend eventually making it, because you don't want to, I have a business account and I try to not do my TikTok shop videos on that. I really don't want anyone to see my TikTok shop videos because they're kind of cheesy and I don't want it to taint my brand. So I recommend creating a new one from scratch. If you want to do this, get it up to 5,000 followers just by posting, you can literally mash content, or what they call splicing, I think they call it, where you're basically just taking other content that's popular and then either talking over it or tweaking it, adding music, adding subtitles, adding a bunch of stuff, and then kind of riding that wave. And then once you get approved, you can start doing these videos. And some of the stuff, you can use these as starting points. I found some people just naturally are really good at this, and some people are just naturally terrible at it. But if you make these videos and one of them pops off, I have 1 views, but it wasn't monetized. It was a very silly, stupid video. But if I were to have made a video pop off that got this revenue, we're, like I said, punch whatever percentage you want in there, 5, 10, 20, 30, whatever it was. And then multiply that by the revenue. And that's the commission that video, literally that video made. So that's not going to be what we're talking about in the challenge, but it is what we talk about on the weekly calls. And over the course of a year, I think a lot of you will actually kind of roll into this, and it will be super fun to watch. And what I was saying, the really cool part is these become brand adverts. So when companies do this, they see that your video is making sales, right? Like, so imagine that you were selling these berries and you saw that this guy made a video that got 6 million views and it was converting. They can see the data. They can see that this is driving 2% conversion rates. They would then spend their own money to run ads to your video. And guess what? You get paid on top of it. It's so freaking cool. And I know that that's not going to be what we talk about in the actual challenge per se, but it does overlap, right? And with the TikTok Shop app
afterwards,
you can actually scan products and it will show you if they're on TikTok Shop. And every day, like when I first started it, there weren't as many videos. But now there are. And I'm sorry, there weren't as many products. Almost every big Amazon product is now on TikTok Shop. And I don't necessarily recommend this, but there's a lot of private label versions of products that you probably have. Like I did one the other day on my business account, which I shouldn't have done, but I accidentally uploaded theirs. I'm going to keep it. Of a flamethrower, a weed flamethrower, and it wasn't the same branded product, but it was the same product, right?
Exactly.
So I just recorded it, and the only difference was like the stuff that wouldn't get you in trouble, right? So that's super fun, and that's kind of where I feel like there's some people that are like, it's cool, but $1,000 a month, that's not. If you are the type of person that wants to go beyond that, there is a beyond, and we would love to work with you guys to get there. Honestly, it's just something I wish I had more time to do myself. It's just kind of a lot of work to focus on your own content, and then also TikTok. Like I make money on my other stuff that I have to spend a little bit more time on. But for somebody, this is going to be such an amazing opportunity, and someone's going to wake up to one of these big viral videos, and it's going to be so freaking cool to watch. I've seen it happen several times, so it's a thing.
Yeah, for sure. Tracy was saying, how much is your program for the Evergreen with Amazon AIP and TikTok stuff? So I don't. Go ahead.
I do have another community called Evergreen Affiliate Marketing that is $49 a month. If you want, you can join that, but there are some other courses and stuff in there. I would recommend joining this, and then you do get those calls. If you want to learn other stuff about affiliate marketing, check that out later. I have some cool stuff in there, but what excites me so much about AIP is the fact that I come from the affiliate marketing world. Like you can't see it. I wrote a book called Evergreen Affiliate Marketing, and it's just been what I've done for like 12 years. And it's so awesome, and the potential is so sky high, but I've just seen such a low success rate for people overall. Like, just being honest with you, most people don't make it work because there's so many holdups. Like with Amazon, the hardest part is you have to drive your own traffic, drive your clicks, and then hope that they convert. And with Amazon, we're not driving any traffic, right? It's literally already there. It is the hack of all hacks. We're just getting put
right on the product page.
Yeah, and then when you've come from the world that I've come from, where I'm literally buying, like I'll pay $5 for a click sometimes for products. Think about that. $5. You could find my ad right now and go click on it, and I'd have to pay $5. And it happens. But I just know at scale that like it's still worth it. But that's once you understand that value of traffic, this whole program, you're like, oh my God, they're just giving me Amazon level traffic for free. And I mean, you don't have the same isolation, and the commission rates are a little bit lower. But when I tell you that it is such a fair trade-off, and also like I said, when people do affiliate marketing, a lot of them lose money if they don't see it through. I have not seen anyone lose money on the Amazon influencer program because it's not how it is. You just definitely make some money. Yeah. And then there's this phenomenon. I call it like the $1 phenomenon, where if you've made $1, you get this confidence that is required to keep going. Yeah. So I got lucky, and my first dollar just happened, completely blind luck, right? If it didn't happen, I probably wouldn't be here talking about it, because it's so easy to quit. I don't blame anybody. Like, it's such a scammy industry. Oh yeah. But when you make that $1, you're like, oh shit, it works. I'm going to keep doing it. And then you don't stop when you would have stopped if you hadn't made that dollar. So that's what the influencer program does. And again, there's a whole nother world beyond it that I would love for some of y'all to come follow me into. But even if you're just here for these 3 days, which are recorded, you will absolutely make your money back in the program, or you don't pay. And we don't even ask. We don't ask why you didn't like it. We just give you money back. I don't want to hear. I mean, you tell me. I want to make it better, but we don't expect you to justify it or anything. You say you want your money back, give your money back.
Yep, for sure. All right, folks. Yeah, we've been here about an hour, so I want to be mindful of Nate's time here. I know he's got other stuff to go to, but yeah, if you're interested in that, you can either scan that QR code right above his head or go to aipchallenge.com. Really easy to remember, aipchallenge.com, and sign up for that. Yep. That will be going on at the end of this week. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we'll be meeting in the evenings. And then again, once you join that, then it doesn't just stop. It's not like just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep. Then you also get a year of these ongoing calls with Nate, with Liz. Yep. That'll be going deeper into AIP stuff and also talking about TikTok affiliate stuff. And just this is such a gateway. I didn't understand how much of a gateway this was until I really dove in headfirst to it, but it's such an easy gateway. Like I'm making good money with AIP, and now I'm also making good money with TikTok Shop, and I'm also making good money with UGC, and I'm also making good money reselling these products, and I'm all like, it's just like stack, and they all work together. You can do all of these simultaneously. It's just such a AIP is the easiest way to start and learn and get some easy initial wins. It has a maybe not quite as high of a ceiling as something like TikTok Shop, so it's got a lower ceiling, but a much easier, higher floor. Like you will make money with AIP. You post 50 videos or 100 videos of just random stuff around your house. Take a video of every medicine that you have. You will make some money. You're probably not.
It's the only side hustle with a. It's the only side hustle with a floor above zero. Like it's the only one I've seen with a floor above zero.
Yeah. So super, super, super simple to get in. And we'll be sharing again. There's ways that you can do this where you can change it from making like $1 a day to making like $50 or $100 or $1,000 in a day. Like there's so maybe 1,000 would be pushing it, but
I mean, even if you just go to your house and like, I'm going to do 100 videos of the most expensive things I have, that's money. I mean, that you will make the money back from the course. And then we're going to show you guys things about how to do it in a way that brands will actually reach out to you, because you'll be able to tell there's little things that you do differently that will get people to actually message you. And we're going to teach that too, because I think it's a passive part of it, but there is a rhyme and a reason to what makes, and everybody will, if you have 1,000 videos, people will reach out, but we're going to show you ways to do it that are going to like 3, 4, 5x the amount of outreach you get. And you're welcome to ignore them, or you're welcome to take them. I ignore a lot of them because like I'll literally get stuff for like, hey, do you want to try out this bikini? I'm like, this is just a blind. You're just going to anyone that has X amount of followers. And I'm like, I'll take it. If you want to pay me, I'm not going to wear it. I'll sell it. But we'll show you how to do stuff like that. It's going to be fun too. Also, it's just going to be fun. So be there.
Yep, for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, I hope to see you all there. Even if you don't go, I mean, feel free. This is my bread and butter right now. It's my new hyper fixation. So feel free to like shoot me messages, things like that. I'm happy to help out where I can. But yeah, this will be a really fun time here at the end of the week where it's just really intentional, really focused. It's not going to be like surface level stuff that you can just find on Google or read in ChatGPT, but really diving in, showing real examples, doing stuff in real time with you guys.
And again, that surface level boring stuff, it is important. So we actually are giving you, somebody had said that they took the 2024 course, which is awesome. We did Nate's original AIP course over a year ago. It was a game changer. Highly recommend. So that's awesome. That course that they are talking about is available for part of your purchase. You get that forever. And it goes through the more college style learning, right? Slides and stuff that we're not trying to bore anybody with this, but there is a time and a place for it. That is where that will be. And you can take it at your leisure. But we're going to really try to keep it super, super exciting and full of stuff that you wouldn't normally hear in the 3 days. That's also why we made it 3 days, because we didn't want to just bore you guys.
Yep, for sure.
There's no point in dragging it out longer than it needs to.
Yep. All right.
Nate, thank you for having me on, bud. Excited to see you on Friday.
Yep, I'll be there on Wednesday, but I'll be talking on Friday. I'll be in the audience on Wednesday, but yeah.
All right, guys. Sweet.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here. If you guys have questions, you can ask me too. I don't know if we're friends on Facebook, but That's
Yeah,
where
it's
I
Nate
hang out.
McCalister is him, and I'm Nate Jackson.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see you guys
I get
later.
a lot
Thanks
of
for stopping
I
by.
get a lot of your emails.
Yeah, same.
There's a like I
Like, oh,
think you
didn't
have
you
me
just
confused.
say this in FBA Today? Like, no,
I'm
that's
glad
not
you have a good brand. Because I do get confused.
There was a crappy Nate for a while on TikTok. An FBA
Yeah, I know
like
you're
Nate
talking
was
about. I
FBA
know.
or
I
something
hated
on
that.
TikTok.
I hated
Well,
that.
yeah,
Where'd he go?
but rode off into
I
the
found.
sunset.
Yeah,
I don't know.
dude, the amount of people that I've seen come and go, unbelievable. You could fill a stadium of the
Yeah.
influencers in our space that are gone. I found
Yep.
I'm not even the coolest Nate McCalister anymore, though. There's a guy on TikTok who's a BMX guy. He's just sick. He's just so good. Like he did a video of him doing a double backflip in his yard. I'm like, and then NateMcCalister.com is owned by a like famous award-winning videographer. So I'm like not even in the top 10 of Nate McCalister.
Not even there. Dang. All right. We won't hold you guys captive anymore.
Yeah. You guys should have left. You should have left from the start. See you guys.